I'm Diamond. I play lead guitar for the band Tetrach. We are from Atlanta, but we currently reside in Los Angeles, California. And we're I guess you can say, like a metal band.
Yeah, you guys are awesome. You have a great tone, sound. I've been jamming you guys a lot lately.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That's awesome.
Oh, absolutely. So you are you founded the band, correct?
I did, yes. Me and Josh, the singer, rhythm guitar player.
That's great. Were you guys friends? You just came to be?
We actually met when we were 12. We both went to school together. We met in 7th grade, and he was like the only guy. I was just getting into like heavier music, and he was like the only guy at the school that played an instrument and was like kind of into rock, because we like went to like a private school, so everyone else was like not into that. They were into like country and stuff. And so I eventually convinced him to let me jam with him and another friend that played drums, and the rest is history from there. We kind of slowly came into Tetrach from that point.
That's great. I love that. That's great. So what would you say is your favorite part about being on stage and getting to perform to your fans?
I don't know. It's really cool to see, people getting into and like going crazy to stuff that you created, to like music you created. That's always been like a super cool thing, like growing up and watching like my favorite bands and being a fan of them and knowing like how I felt in the audience, going to those shows and knowing that like we're recreating that same feeling with other people is really cool. So, and because I know how awesome it is, so it feels good to do that.
That's great. I love that, because I am a huge music fan through and through. Like, so being that, like, getting to be such a big music fan, and you also were like getting to be in my shoes. Now you're up doing it for people like me, and I love that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Oh yes, that's great. So what is the band's like ultimate goal in the future? I know everything's on hold right now because of Corona, which definitely sucks, but are you guys gonna come out with a bang, a big tour?
Yeah, so I mean, like we're not ever like shy, like talking about what our goals are, and like we obviously from the beginning have always said, and it puts people off, but we don't like mean it in any kind of negative way, but like we absolutely, our goal is to be like one of, if not the biggest, like contemporary metal band of like this generation, and like kind of following the footsteps of some of our favorite bands when we were coming up. And so everything we kind of do is kind of trying to take steps to get to that point. So like as soon as all this is over, we had like huge touring plans for the world, like internationally and everything. So hopefully as soon as this is over, we'll be able to jump on that like we were planning, and that'll be kind of right after the new record comes out. So that was just, setting up the whole record and getting the record out and then touring as soon as we can.
Hell yeah. And good for you for, talking about your goals. Like you said, a lot of bands kind of weird about that, but that's awesome. It's how you get yourself out there, and I love that.
We're not weird about it. I know and I've heard, I think it was Matt from Trivium like mentioned it, and it's a cool way to put it. It's like in other genres of music, and like rap and hip hop and all that kind of stuff, like they're very open about wanting to be successful and people support it, and they think that it's a great look, and in our genre sometimes it tends to put bands off, but I don't think it should be that way. I think if you want to achieve something great, like you shouldn't have to be shy about it. So
I agree. I love that. Hell yeah. So you guys just put out I'm Not Right video, which was great, by the way. Great production quality. Loved it.
Thank you.
What is like the main message that the band wants to portray out of that video?
We've always kind of been a band that's like about kind of like manifesting your own, whatever you want, and just kind of owning who you are. And with that song, it was kind of like we wanted to take an approach of like most people in the world it could be something super super serious, or something where you just ate something you just are just so ashamed of, like a whole cake. So like we wanted it to be like one of those perspectives of like, somebody who looks in the mirror and you just are like, you just hate what you see at that moment. Like, you just don't like who you are. You don't like what you just did or how you've been living or whatever. And it drives you to just want to change that about yourself and become the best version of yourself, like through whatever means you have to do to get to that point. So that's kind of like the direction we were trying to take with that song.
Yeah, that's great. I definitely have been in those shoes. Who hasn't? We're just humans. Like, we definitely
exactly
love ourselves every single day. So definitely like so relatable, which is really
yeah.
cool. I like that a
Thank
lot.
you.
So you guys have the new album coming out. What is your plan? Like, when do you know when you're gonna put it out? What is your plan for all of that?
Yes. So it's coming out in the fall. Right now it's October 2nd is the day right now. That the album's gonna drop. So we're getting ready to do like pre-orders and stuff for the record, and I'm Not Right's doing like a lot better than we even anticipated. So it's rolling really well, and then at some point we'll put out a couple more singles leading up to the record. So
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
yeah.
Can't wait. Definitely fall's gonna be good time. Hopefully shows will be back by then. So
Or at least close to being back, at least.
Right. I agree. I agree. All right, so I have a little goofy question for you. So what is the band's go-to tour snack?
Snack. Oh, that's different for all of us. So,
Okay. So what's yours?
So mine is, I've gotten to the point where I try really, really hard not to like, because snacks are my thing, but I try really hard not to get into like the gas station snacks. You stop at a lot of gas stations and stuff, but chips have always just been I love chips. Chips are my thing. So like any most Doritos, like just chips in general. So
I'm a chip person. I understand.
Exactly, but it's like, it's funny because like Ryan, our bass player, is like very much like a health kind of guy. Like he likes to stay fit, so he always like carries around cans of beans. Like he like I don't know why, but like so he'll like if he gets hungry, and we're just somewhere and we can't stop or something. He's like, I'm just gonna eat a can of beans, and we're like, what? That's so weird. So he'll just get his can opener and pop open a can of beans, and like, Josh, our singer, is very much like a sweethead. He loves gummy bears and like, he likes Pringles and stuff, but gummy bears and like candy bars, that's his thing.
All right.
And our drummer is he's also he's very interesting because he's also very fit and into like healthy stuff, but he has his moments where he just binges on all things like just bad.
Chips in one bite, Hostess cupcake in the next.
Yeah, he just recently, like 6 months ago, went vegetarian. So vegan. So now he's like doing the vegan thing. Before that, like he would eat like 2 and 3 pints of ice cream at one time, and it was just like, oh god. So needless to say, we got the snack game pretty strong when we're on the road.
Is it difficult with them being like health freaks and vegan? Is it a little difficult for you and Josh, or?
Honestly, it's helpful more so because like sometimes it'll get us in check. Like me and Josh are like, man, we really want XYC name something really bad, and like Ryan will be like, I think I'm just gonna get a protein bar, and we're just kind of like, yeah, you're right. And like, so it's kind of like, it kind of helps us stay a little balanced sometimes. Sometimes. But Ryan has his moments too where he's like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just going to get a donut. So like, it helps us stay balanced out at times.
That's awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
I like that you knew every other member's snack as well. That was perfect.
Oh, no, they're my best friends. So like, I there's not much you can ask me about them. I don't know.
That's great. Well, yeah, I was going to ask, so are you guys able to get together and practice and do what you guys have to do to get ready for the album? Or are you doing everything through computers?
So we, like right before everything shut down, we had just finished like the video and everything for I'm Not Right. So in all the photos and stuff. So it was like kind of perfect timing for what was going on.
Yeah, definitely.
And then after that, we found that everything was like closing for a while. And Josh was like, like I rarely get to go home and hang with my parents. So he's like, I'm going to go to Atlanta for a little bit, just hang with them. So he flew to Atlanta, and then like a month later, I came with Ryan, our bass player. We came here, and Ruben's still in LA. So we all will be back in about 2 weeks, and then we'll get together and start practicing and everything again. And we have to shoot another video and all that kind of stuff. So in a couple weeks, we'll kind of hit it hard. But we've just been everything we've kind of been doing remotely for the last like 2 months.
That's great. That's great. You're able to get together and get everything out, and definitely perfect timing for you to be able to drop that video.
Oh yeah, yeah.
How is it to do like record a video? Is it you guys have a lot of fun? You have like a main production company you go through?
We so we recorded this video with a director that did one of our previous videos for the song Oddity, and he's really easy to work with. He was out in LA, and we decided we wanted to work with him again for this. And we're one of those bands where like we kind of find fun in everything. So we're not one of those bands that's like, oh, we gotta go shoot a video today. So we definitely enjoyed it. We enjoy the process. We're very like hands-on with like creating it and our vision and everything. So we enjoy it. We enjoy seeing it come to life, and it's especially fun when it's like a new song too. You're like, this is what the world's gonna see and hear the song for the first time with. So keeping all that in mind, we enjoy it.
Oh hell yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I've watched. I unfortunately haven't seen you live yet, but watching live videos, you can tell that you guys are definitely like a tight group and you have fun, which is really good to see.
Thank you. Yeah. We definitely playing live is definitely our like favorite, all of our favorite aspect of being in a band. So.
Yeah, that's great. You definitely have great energy and play off each other, which is it's good to see. Some bands are just so stiff and
Yeah.
it's fun.
We try to like I keep going back to it, but like our favorite bands coming up were very much like the entertainer type bands, like the Metallicas and stuff like that. They get on stage and they may not be playing the most complicated things ever, but like they have good songs and they put on a really good show. And I think that's a lot of the reason why they are where they are today. So we try to take after that and do the same thing. And people pay to come see us, so we want them to leave satisfied.
Hell yeah, and as a fan, it's definitely appreciated.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
So how did you and Josh meet the other guys of the band?
So we actually met Ryan, our bass player. We met him on MySpace but in 2009. We were looking for a bass player, and we put out we were still a young band, we had still kind of just started.
Right.
And we put out a I put out a little, I don't remember what it was, however you did on MySpace back then. It was so long ago. I think I went through and I messaged like a bunch of bass players, and he was like the only one that got back to us. And he came to a practice, and we were like, we don't want this guy. And he was like, but he was smart, and he was like, you know what, guys, I'm just gonna leave my stuff here till next time. You guys can just let me know, and until then I'll just store my stuff here. And we're like, okay. But he knew he would have to come back, so he played a show with us, and we were like, but then the second show was a lot better.
Right, he got rid of his nerves, I'm sure.
Yeah, and so he ended up being the perfect fit after we got the kinks out. And then Ruben, we actually met we had just lost our last drummer about 6 years ago, and one of my good friends, who's now our TM, he knew Ruben. Ruben had just moved from Venezuela, and he was like, I have the perfect drummer. He fits you guys so well. And he got in, and he was a killer drummer, had a lot of drive, and he's been perfect as well ever since.
That's great. Hell yeah. I love that. So how do you feel how you inspire your fans? What is the main message you guys like to give to them? Or
yeah, I think we just try to be positive, and we try to show people we enjoy what we're doing, and we enjoy making music for them and playing for them. I feel like there's so many bands that you see them and they're like, leaving for tour, and I have to do, we have to do this, and they make it sound like they don't want to be there. They don't want to be doing what they're doing. They don't love, and we found that like fans and people are so much more appreciative and so much more attracted to like the positive attitude of just loving what we're doing. And I think it comes from us starting so young and being so thankful every time we're able to achieve a goal because we've worked so hard for them. And we're appreciative of everybody who helps us along the way. But we like to show people that like, inspire people and show them like we love what we're doing. We love making music for you guys and we love playing for you. And I don't know, as weird as it sounds, I think people really appreciate it.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
I agree. I'd much rather support a band that's all gun ho and willing to shake the hands of the fans that allow them to be on the stage,
Mm-hmm.
than a stiff board band where you feel like, oh, wow, that guy was kind of a dick.
Yeah. It's normal to feel that way. It's like you meet somebody and you're like, oh, they don't really seem to like what they're doing at all. Like that doesn't make me feel great about supporting them, So
Yeah,
I think a
right.
lot of people like to see like our journey and how like, me and Josh have known each other for almost 20 years. And it's just like, I think we kind of have like a cool story. So
yeah, that's great. And even for me as a photographer in our world, the creator world, it's like we have ours. You're like, ask them for a little advice, and they're like, I'm way too good for you. And then most of them out there are like, oh, yeah, like of course. And how else are you gonna learn and network? And I love that.
Exactly.
That's great.
Exactly.
So, who would you consider the pioneers of your genre?
Pioneers are my genre. So there's a couple, obviously. You can't go through without mentioning, obviously, like the Black Sabbath and all of that. And Metallica is all of our all-time favorite bands, so they're just the godfathers for us for like our metal and our genre and just kind of getting it to where it is now. And then coming up to like, what the type of bands we listened to when we were, young teenagers, and that we were seeing back then, bands still got super big, but like just like the Linkin Parks and the Korns and the Slipknots and all of that. So if I had to pick for me, it would be like those: Metallica, Slipknot, Korn, Black Sabbath. Stuff like
hell
that.
yeah, hell yeah!
Mm-hmm.
Can't go wrong with any of those. So.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you love most about music? I know that's kind of a tough question, but
No, it's fine. I just like how it's kind of, you're an artist, so it's kind of nothing is right or wrong to create, and you can kind of create what you want. And I like how it connects so many different people. Like they say, it's like the universal language. It's so true. Like people from all walks of life, especially like metal, rich kids, poor kids, middle class kids, kids whose parents are together or not, kids who are popular, who are not. It doesn't matter. They all come together and they enjoy it, and the music means as much to them as it does anybody else. And I think all types of music are like that. So I just think it connects people who might not even usually be connected. And I don't know, it's a special thing. So music is the closest thing to magic there is, they say, and I kind of believe it. So.
I fully believe it. I feel like my therapy has been taken away from me, honestly.
Yeah,
completely.
no shows.
So I know, exactly. Everyone comes together, and there's nothing but the music, and it's perfect harmony, and I just love it so much.
Same, yeah.
What is your personal favorite song to perform?
So let's see. Probably like it's a mix. I love when we play Pull the Trigger. We usually open our set with it, or we had been. And it was a good song, got the crowd really into it really fast. Oddity, we always end with that song, and like people go nuts, and it's just like so many crowd surfers always on that song.
I love that song.
Yeah, it's a great ender, and like we put it last one time just to try it out. We were like, my dad was even at the show, and he's like, that song you play last, don't ever take that out from playing last. Like, dude, those kids were just killing it. So we were like, that song's always fun. And then obviously there's a song called Please Let Me Be. We play in the middle of the set, and like the middle of the song kind of has this, like we like break it down, Josh to talk some, and we get the crowd hype. for it to come back in, and that's always fun too, because it always works and the crowd always goes crazy. So I love playing the songs that, like, you know, people just kind of go nuts on. It gives
Yeah,
us a
no
lot of
doubt.
on stage too. Yeah.
That's great. I love that.
Mhm.
So what is your songwriting process like? Do you guys all write together? Is there like a main writer?
So usually it starts with Josh or me coming with a riff or a whole song, or a couple riffs, and we'll show it to each other and like help each other build off of it, or, you know, make it better or whatever. And then once we get something that we kind of like and we feel has potential, we like show it to Ryan and Ruben, and they add their touches to it. Like, you know, they're, you know, Ruben will add, you know, some cool drum parts that he feels. Same with Ryan and bass lines, and it usually kind of comes together like that. So it'll start with Josh and I with the like main concept of the song, and then we all build off of it together.
That's great. I love teamwork. That's perfect. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got one more question for you.
Yeah.
This one always kind of, some people just know, and some are like, oh my God. So, if you could have dinner with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
If I could do what?
If you could have dinner with any
Oh,
artist, dead or alive.
gotcha. Any artist dead or alive? I would, off the top of my head, I'm sure there's others that like I would love to, but off the top of my head, I would probably say Lars Ulrich. And I know people are always like, "Oh, he's such an asshole, and he's, you know, he's a horrible drummer, and yada yada yada." But like, I don't know. I look up to Lars a lot because his place in Metallica, is kind of my place in Tetrach, and even though he's like not the greatest drummer on the planet, he is the greatest drummer in my opinion for Metallica for many reasons. And he's very business savvy. He's been a big part of his band getting to where it is today. So being able to eat dinner with him, just pick his brain and just talk to him about everything, I think would be super cool. So
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's everyone's own opinion. So who
Yeah,
knows if he's
exactly.
really a dick? He's
Yeah,
just a businessman.
exactly. So I'm sure he has his ways, but you know, I'm sure he's all right too.
Exactly. That'd be a good dinner, definitely.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to give a shout out to, a plug, or?
No, just for everyone to check out our single "I'm Not Right" and keep an eye open for the next single and like the record to come in the fall.
We're super excited to have you part of Hell Entertainment. We'll definitely be plugging all of that for you.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, it was super good to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate you.